What's happening there, YouTube? Genji here, and welcome back to Arcadia-7, where in the last episode we had just unlocked multi-rails, and I never actually got the chance to check them out. So, we're going to start this episode with doing a little science here. We're going to summon up the build tool. And plop down some multi-rail, because we're going to have to do a little bit of experimentation to see how exactly these string together with normal rails. So we have a rail modulator that goes from 1 rail to 3 rail. And then we have a multi-rail for the 3 rail side, which doesn't seem to connect directly to a modulator. Multi-rail 3. A connector for drone rails used to support long rails. Okay, so this is just a support. This is like the 3-rail version of the rail support, I guess. So just to test this, we'll drop this. Let me rotate this. Actually, let's do drone mode. Might be a little easier to see the top of the rail. There we go. Rotate. Put this in line. There we go. Lock Z offset. Something like that. And now I think we might have to just connect each rail individually. And, yeah, this bug is still here where the rail is actually aligning to the bottom of the support for some reason. So we actually have to go out of drone mode for this. Oh, it's still doing it. Let's go out of build mode altogether. Pop back in, rail V1. Okay, now it's fixed. Very interesting. So yeah, we have to do individual rails for the tri-rail, which is a bit of a hassle, especially for doing a lot of very complex routing of our rails, but it's not the end of the world. So basically, at this point, I think we can, if we break this down, luckily it takes all the individual rails with it. So I think we can actually replace our 1 incoming rail line here with a 3-rail line so that we can have both titanium and tungsten, or wolfram, I guess in this game, running on the same line. Or if we're feeling extra productive, we can actually plop down some more ore miners, because we have more resource nodes, 1, 2, 3 for each type. So we could have a dedicated 3-rail line for each type of ore coming into the base. So it's a bit of an engineering project, but if I check our inventory, 91, we're probably gonna need some more building material for that, but I think it shouldn't be too hard to set that up. So I'm gonna run back to the base, stock up on some basic building materials, and I think we'll get that set up. We'll do 1 tri-rail for titanium and another tri-rail for wolfram.
Rupture activity detected. I recommend finding a safe place.
Well, that's a great place to bring me back in at, cuz I got all this wired up here. All I have to do is tell these silos what material they're going to be hosting. But if I hop into build mode here, I guess we can just slap down a rail line so I can get into drone mode? Drone mode? Okay, for some reason I cannot go into drone mode. C. It won't let me go into drone mode, so we'll just do it by eyeball. So I've got the 3 ore excavators of each kind set up over here. I did have to put a new base core in because this last Wolfram node was just out of range of our original base core. And all 3 of each type, titanium and wolfram, are wired up to a multi-rail support. And they all run nice and neat all the way back into our base here. I actually kind of like working with these multi-rail supports because they give much nicer curves to our lines. All you have to do is put them at intersecting points, just like this, so that their corners are touching, and you get these nice, neat-looking curves that run parallel to each other. I can't get over this wall here. Oh, well, we should probably get back inside. So let's wait out this Ruptura, and we'll continue.
Ruptura's core is unstable. Head to safety immediately.
Not my first rodeo.
Planetary temperature within acceptable parameters.
Okay. Let's get the temperature down here. Just instruct them to cool down. Oh, you have to do it 1 building at a time? Well, then we'll just wait. They'll cool down on their own. I should check what our thermal capacity is here. Oh, we're not even close. We're like a third of the way there. We could... Well, we gotta get ceramics first. But we're not too far off from being able to upgrade our base cores. Okay, we got green lights again. So as I was saying, all 3 rails of each type of material now come into our 3 silos here. So I do need to dismantle these existing silos. So we'll take... Oh, they've actually been completely consumed by our manufacturing lines. But we'll take these down. One, 2, 3. And these 3, I believe, are titanium, which we don't have any of, but I can tell it manually to hold titanium ore. And then these 3 lines will be wolfram. And I can actually redeposit some of this wolfram. Wolfram. And wolfram. There we go. Nope, no gun. Now we should see... We should see some wolfram and titanium actually coming into these lines, but for some reason they are not running. I'm not sure why. Let's take a look. No power. How can they not have power? They're connected by rails. Are they under the influence of another base now, so they're no longer pulling power from our original base? Or, you know what? Never mind. I'm gonna bet it's because our base is no longer touching this section. So actually, as soon as I put this online, we may lose power again. I may have to build some more solar panels. But first... let me up. Drop some stairs in here. Yeah, I deleted these platforms here. So if I connect this right on through... I don't need an option to click and drag to place multiple of a thing. There we go. Now they're powered up. Do something like that. And I do need to add some stairs now because I'm not going to be able to jump around this. Hey, there's our materials coming in. On 1 rail. There's 2 rails. There's 3 rails. A little annoying that they're not in sync. They're all kind of in whatever order they entered the rails in, but that's not the end of the world. Because now we have full line saturation for all 3 lines. And they don't have to share a line, so we don't have to do titanium, tungsten, titanium, tungsten. So we have now way, way more input capacity than we are going to be able to use right now with our current manufacturing line, but this gives us a lot of flexibility. So we can do individual lines for each type of material and then bring them back into silos just like this. But first, we're gonna have to pick a new contract to take on. So normally I would go out exploring during this time, but I think I want to just continue building because we have some contracts I want to hit this episode. Starting with moon energy, because I need a new power production facility because we're running out of room to put just dozens and dozens of level 1 solar power plants. So let's take a look at what we need for moon energy. So to get our next tier of power production, we're gonna have to hit level 5. Right now we have to do level 3, which is going to take calcium ore. Right, okay. We can do that. Let's see, what do we have as far as building materials? We have 569. I might want a little bit more. I'm gonna grab 1 stack of each of these to build some more basic building materials. 100 and 100.
Gotcha.
And then at some point I definitely want to automate the creation, the manufacturing of basic building materials, so I don't have to do this. But this will work for right now. There's 1,000 materials. So let's run over to our calcium deposits over here. Actually, I'm also going to need a meteor core, because those are required to set up a new base core. So we're going to split this meteorite heart off. And I guess we could have actually harvested one along the way, because there's plenty of them just sitting out here now. I've been kind of ignoring them. We're going to go over this direction where the calcium deposits are. I just want to nab this ignitium while I'm staring at it. Huh. What is this? There's just a purple crystal in this rock. Do I have to blow it up to get to it? Grenade. Nope. What's with the purple? Nope. Here's another. Dead body with some war bonds, some more standard ammo, and energy boost chew. Eat to gain effect. Triples natural energy regeneration. Lasts 30 minutes. Does not stack with other energy regeneration effects. 40 toxicity. I guess they were all hoping they could hide under a rock to avoid the Ruptura. I don't think it worked out that way. Alright, so here are our calcium deposits. We have 1, 2, 3. So I guess we'll drop... Oh, 4 actually. We'll drop a base core. Right here in the middle of them. Zoom out. Buildings placed in range of 2 base cores will use the capacity of both of them. Oh, okay, so as far as heat dissipation, that makes sense. And we're gonna want some ore excavators, say pointing back towards our base. 1, 2, 3. We might as well saturate a whole line.
Ruptura status, stable. Arcadia status, stable.
Okay, good to know. And let's do a little building here to... I guess... They just want calcium ore, right? Because I know we can manufacture calcium blocks. I'm debating whether or not to do that manufacturing and delivery here, or to just send calcium, the raw calcium, back into our base and deal with it there. I think we'll do the calcium manufacturing here, because I can't think of too many things that need... Actually, I can't think of anything that requires raw calcium other than calcium blocks. So, you'll build some power here. Might as well connect it directly to here. And we can't directly manufacture calcium blocks yet. We have to unlock it at the recipe station. But we can just build our delivery, our orbital cargo launchers here directly. So I guess let's figure out where our calcium lines are gonna go, and that'll inform where we're gonna line up our orbital launchers. So give me a multi-rail. Zoom out. If we take this right into here, rotate it this way, take a rail out of here, take a rail out of here, and take a rail out of here. We just need to connect this to our power distribution here. So I guess we'll connect it with platforms. There we go. Blue lights mean we're online. Excavators are turning. So this can be our line to send materials back to our main base, but this can also be our line for our orbital cargo launchers. Just for this first contract. So let's place them... we cannot build... we can build over water, we just can't build over... We can't build that tall. So we can go here, here, and here. Connect this here. Oh, we're overpowered. More power. Is it? Is it colliding? There we go. That was just enough. Well, no, actually that should be fine, because this is connecting through all three of these blocks here. So, more rails. More rails. We're not going to make this look nice and neat like the others, because this is just temporary. Cancel out of this. And now, if I can get up here... we should be able to just deliver raw calcium ore for each of these. Calcium. Calcium. Here they come. So this should fill up super quick because each one of these launchers has a dedicated line. I think we'll only really be limited by how fast these things can actually launch. Yeah, there we go. So we're going to end up with a ton of extra calcium from this, but that's okay. More is good. So this will unlock the map, which we've been lacking this entire time. Which means we'll have to go and visit all of these map stations that are scattered throughout. We found 2 of them so far. 3 maybe? There might be another one out in that direction.
Good stuff.
Star tiers. Alright, while I'm out here, I'm going to grab some more of these hydro bulbs. Because we can never have enough. Okay, so while that's running, let's take a look at some of our other options here so we can fulfill multiple contracts at once. So we just got to level 5 of robotics. Level 6 is going to give us rail level 2, but it's going to require some things that we don't have access to yet, the heat-resistant sheets. So let's take a look at some other things here. We can get the LEM station from Future Health Solution, and we need titanium sheets and titanium rods, which we can absolutely deliver. So let's set that up next over on the titanium side, which means we're going to have to hook back up some of our titanium line here. So let's pick rail, and we'll connect this straight to... We can do 1-to-1. Actually, I think everything just comes into here, so we can just go straight from here into our titanium line. There it comes. And we need to deliver... Future Health Solutions. We're going to deliver titanium sheets. And those are going to come from... right here. Let's see, how can we get sheets into here? We gotta delete this. And we can go straight forward out of this side to right here. And then into here. That should do it. Do I have to select? No, it says it should be delivering titanium sheets. Titanium sheets.
I can use this.
Titanium sheets. Titanium sheets. Here they come. Oh, this is backwards. Okay, that's why I wasn't hitting this one. So let's copy this. Set this the right direction. And now we should see stuff break off in this direction. There it is. Okay, so we have 2 contracts being delivered. Let's see if there's anything we can do with Wolfram while we wait. Take our plates back. Titanium, titanium, calcium, titanium. Everybody wants titanium. So I guess our Wolfram line will continue to sit idle for now. I need to drop off some extra parts here. In materials? Do I have housings anywhere currently? I do now. Move this over. There we go. Let's see. Let's hit our recipe station here. So, in the smelter, we can make calcium blocks as long as we submit 1,000 calcium ore. So we can start to set that up. Because I'm sure we're going to have a lot of extra calcium backed up over here now. I'm going to grab just fistfuls of it and ferry it back over here so we can unlock calcium blocks for future purposes. Also, while I'm here, I think I'm also going to plop down just a temporary habitat. If I can find a flat enough location. Let's see what this looks like. There might be a rock inside, but just in case we're stuck out or we're running back and the rupture is about to happen, I would like to have just kind of an away base to be able to hop into quickly in case I don't have time to make it back to the main base. So we'll slap a door here. With some stairs.
Great work. The Moon Energy Corporation received its order.
Perfect.
You can claim your rightful reward, as usual, in the corporate terminal. They are very happy with your services.
We have a little bit of rock cropping through, but this is not really going to be used other than as a temporary shelter. So we'll just put some viewports facing the Ruptura. Because we're still going to want that view. And yeah, let me fill my pockets with calcium.
I can use that.
Thank you. And unless they want more calcium... Oh, yep, here we go. Calcite sheets and calcium blocks. So we don't even have calcite sheets as an option yet, so we'll have to see what we have to do to unlock that. But if they're going to keep wanting calcium, we may have to expand this facility a bit. So I guess we'll start by throwing down some storage depots, because we're going to need a buffer for all of this calcium that we're going to be working with. So we can stick that here. Let me get out of the way so I can drone this up. Spin off one. Bring the others on through. Like so. Now I just have to tell these silos to store calcium. 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 And it should be flowing. There it is. So for now, we can't really do much until we have 1,000 in our pocket, because we can't actually manufacture the calcium blocks that we need as deliverables for this contract. But we can at least plop down the smelter, I believe. Yeah, calcium into products. So these are going to become calcium blocks in smelters. So if we go this direction. Surprisingly, we have not hit the limit of our power yet. Also, it's going to be hard to do a one-to-one directly in front of each of these silos, just because we're going from a 2-block wide silo to a 3-block wide smelter. So I guess we can stick this off the edge a bit. Something like that. And now we wait for calcium. There we go, 1,000. All right, back to base. Recipe station, smelter, insert. New recipe, calcium block. So let's see, where are calcium sheets? Applicator, stator, stabilizer. Basic item printer? Nope. Furnace, calcium powder. Glass inductor, synthetic silicone. Super magnet, there's so many different materials.
Future Health Solutions has received its order. Homesick? Living in a space colony often separates us from our loved ones.
True.
Try oxytocinum, a syrup that releases a quadruple dose of oxytocin, the closeness hormone. You don't have to visit your family to feel like they're there.
Well, that's dystopian as hell. Replace actual human contact with drugs. Alright, let's claim our reward. So let's claim our map. displays a top-down view of discovered areas.
You have
Claim.
successfully unlocked the geolocation service of structural and topological imaging.
Sounds like a complicated name for a map.
If you insist on using such primitive language, go ahead.
It truly is the future. And the LEM station finally allows for installation of limbic enhancement membranes, LEMs. Has to be placed inside a habitat. Gimme. Now where the heck are we gonna put all this stuff? We need the large habitat LEM station. I want this to be... Well, I was gonna say I want it to be on the first floor, but we don't really have room for it. But second floor seems to be our upgrade area anyway, because we've got
Now you'll be able to install LEMs in your
our
cells,
weapons bench
which
here.
will enhance your abilities. Remember, the more often you perform a certain action, the easier it is for your mind to adapt to it. Only after some time will you be ready for modifications.
No.
We wouldn't want your brains to get fried,
Limiting
right?
the number of LEMs we can put in.
I always wanted to learn to play bass. If I found
This
an
isn't the
LEM for
Matrix.
that- Oh, I'd still need to practice.
That's the sad truth of life.
And then we also got the map. Where is that? Is that just something we have access to? Oh, there we go, with M. Okay. What are all these? Oh, these are dead bodies. Base core. Drone wreck. Unknown. Oh, it'll map points of interest. Monolith. Okay, so now we can visit the geoscanner at some point. But for right now, let's hop into the LEM station. So we have one slot. You cannot level up over 45 in early access. Well, that seems silly, considering that locks off 3 whole slots in each category. Ouch. So we have one of each that we can slot in. Let's see what our options are right now. Personal storage. We've got 2 reds, Resurrector, and Swapper. I guess we'll take Swapper because we're not planning on dying. Runner, stamina regen by 20, or fall damage by 20. Stamina seems more useful. And then green, we only have 1, so we'll slot each of these.
This
Movements.
will help.
Survival. Combat. We've made us better, stronger, faster than before. And I think that's all we're going to do here. Oh. Calcite sheets. Calcite sheets. Calcite sheets are made in a fabricator. Okay. So let's go look at a fabricator. I actually don't want to do that because it's going to yank out the materials that are already in there, so we'll just go build one. I think it's just one of the default craftable materials that we have in the fabricator. I don't think we have to unlock it at the recipe station. So I think we'll have to go from the calcium depot into a smelter to turn it into blocks, and then from the smelter into a fabricator to craft it into sheets, and then we can deliver. So it's going to be straight from a raw material to a 2-step process. Nothing we can't handle. Let me up. So, calcium block. Ah. We must feed the machine. There we go. I don't know if we need 3 separate smelters doing this. I think 1 smelter and 1 fabricator is enough to saturate like 3 or 4 orbital cargo launchers. So we'll just go straight from smelter to fabricator. Let me get out of the way here. Kind of picked a bad spot to try to shoe this in here. We're running straight into a cliffside. Connect this with a rail line. You tell this to make, here we go, calcite sheets. from blocks to sheets. If this was in our main base, I would separate this into... I put a silo for the output of the blocks to build up a stockpile of the blocks. But since we're just doing a one-off line here for calcite sheets, we're just going to put this straight into... We'll do a storage depot. As close as we can get that. And then we'll do our line of orbital cargo launchers. Here. Yeah, I had a feeling we were going to go overpower here. Not enough resources. Oh, we finally ran out. Well, poop. Okay, let me run back to base. Okay, and we're back. So I think what we can eventually do is have the output of this entire base be 3 individual silos, one for calcium ore, one for calcium blocks, one for calcium sheets. Unless there's more calcium materials, then we can do more. But if we run each of those materials into one rail each of a multi-rail, then we can just send each of those pre-manufactured parts back to the main base for storage there. But for right now, we need some more power generation. And then this contract should unlock some additional power generation options for us. But for right now, we gotta kind of squeeze some more solar panels in here. Like so. That should be enough. Everything's schmoving. Oh, damn. So where were we? Build. Cargo launcher. And we're doing this facing inward like so. And we're gonna want a rail connector for each of these. Why did I do it so low? Lift it up. Rail connector like so. Nope. We did not build enough. Output. Oh, wrong way. In fact, I think all these may be in the wrong direction. No, they figured themselves out. It's just this one. From here to here. And then from here to here. I can't copy this for some reason. So many just weird little things that occasionally don't work right. Is facing the right way? There we go. So we're going to tell this to store calcite sheets, and we're going to tell each of these to deliver calcite sheets to moon energy. Perfect. And this should be more than enough to saturate 3 launchers. There we go. So that contract is running. So now we can run back to our main base and figure out something we can do with our titanium line here, because everybody else wants titanium-based products. Alright.
Great.
Titanium sheets? Sure. So where are we at? Level 4 with future health. So next is... Oh, we can't see our rewards here from this terminal, although I did see that they want some Wolfram products, so we can actually run both of our lines here. Let's stop by the corporate terminal and see what reward we want. So Selenium Corporation is going to offer us a miner lamp. Increases harvester mining damage by 25%, But this will get us through to a helium-3 extractor, and then eventually to a large habitat, which I like, and a mega press. Refinery, sulfur extractor, assembler. I like everything that Selenium Corporation is offering. Griffith's Blue is just going to get us some war bonds and a defense turret. A defensive structure automatically aims and shoots at enemies. Requires standard ammo to work. Has to be supplied manually. Are we going to get a Factorio-style vermin raid? That would be fun. Moon Energy we already have running, and Clever Robotics wants heat-resistant sheet, which we don't have access to just yet. We can feed them titanium housing, but it's going to take forever, and I'd rather just build up our lines to, you know, the thing that is the next on the manufacturing list. So let's see what's actually going to be required to make heat-resistant sheets. We need 600 wolfram plates, 200 glass. We do not have glass yet. I'm assuming glass is done in a smelter. Or a furnace? Glass, here we go. So we need 2,500 helium-3. So that's not going to be done until we get the helium-3 extractor. So there's kind of a set path you have to go down. So I guess we do need to start working on our Selenium Corporation. So let's see, they want titanium beams and titanium sheets. Easy. Titanium sheets are already wired in. So we're just going to tell Selenium Corporation, you know what, let's put beams back on because they're worth more. So let's kill this. And beams are right here, so we're going to build a rail from here to, I guess, here, because this is this stuff is flowing this way. And then we just need to tell each of these to deliver beams. 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 And beams. Okay, titanium line is occupied. Now, let's look at the wolfram line. So, somebody here... Here we go. Future Health Solution wants wolfram powder or calcium powder. We can do wolfram powder. It's crafted in a furnace. And our furnace is currently, well, our titanium furnace is set up with other things, but we can build another furnace for the wolfram line. Let's go into drone mode. That way. There we go. We'll line this up like so, I guess. That's wolfram wire, right? So let's see what we need to make wolfram powder. We need wolfram bars. Where is our closest... Well, we only have one. Here's our wolfram bars. So we can get this into here. It's going to be a little ugly. And we can go straight from here into here.
Increased Ruptura activity.
No, I'm busy.
Prepare for a wave.
Tell him to come back later. Wolfram powder. So this should come straight, yep, out of there, into here. This is going to produce wolfram powder for us. And I'm going to come out of this into a storage depot. Let's go back into drone mode. Drone mode? Drone mode? Drone mode will just occasionally decide it doesn't want to come out to play. Drone mode. I think it's whenever... It seems like it's whenever the Ruptura starts, we're not allowed to use the drone. Put this here. We'll run rail from here to here. And we'll tell this depot to store wolfram powder. And then we can connect this rail output to like, technically here, but all these rails are running backwards. But for right now, we can just tell this to deliver wolfram powder. And that should be running. And then we're going to have to dip out for a bit until after... Well, we might have a little bit of time. Let's see how much we can get done before we have to run. This is going the wrong way. This is going the wrong way. Rail here to here. Here to here.
I think I can use this.
All right, we gotta go. We gotta go. Here's Ruptura number 2. Nice and toasty. I like how our little carts are just completely unfazed. The materials weren't even, like, knocked out of the cart. It's just the force of an exploding sun.
Planetary temperature returning to normal.
Oh, good. Let's just make some ammo for our
Reloading.
gun. There we go. Up to 111 bullets. With some left over. Let me out. Okay. Power is coming on just in time. So we're gonna just fix these last couple of rails here. Here to here.
That's just what I need.
Instruct these to deliver wolfram powder. And that should all be set. And now we wait. We have three separate contracts being fulfilled right now. So I guess we have a little bit of time to go and explore. So let's go hit these map stations. And I want to start pressing closer to this big monolith on the horizon here. Okay, what does this do?
Geoscanner initialized.
It causes an earthquake. I guess it's a seismic detection? Oh, I see. We woke the horde. Nice, one shot, one kill now. We have to defend it. While it runs, 50%. Should probably have dropped off some of these materials. Easy. One last wave. Oh yeah, we definitely went the right way with this gun. Ready.
Geoscanning complete. Data acquired. Map updated.
Okay, we'll check that in just a second. I want to grab the spoils. Oh, what's happening? Very ominous music playing all of a sudden. Couple of biofacts laying around. All right, let's see. Okay, it just gives us a radius around here. So we have a drone wreck, a dead body, a dead body. We don't really know which ones we've interacted with. I know we've hit some of these dead bodies for sure. Monolith, unknown location. Okay, so we know how they work now. So let's keep heading this direction, I think. Or the big thing is over here somewhere. A new location has been unlocked on the map. Oh, found a dead body. With some war bonds, more energy boost shoes, and some standard ammo. Oh, there's an underground? No way. Just a ladder? I hope so. Yeah. What's going on down here?
A cave? It's worth exploring.
Is this harvestable? Is it shootable? It shows up as
Necesito agua.
an enemy. Can't be harvested though. Glow cap. T. Holding T will... Oh, there we go. Big old flashlight beam. I see a lot of glow cap. Oh, harvestable. Quartz ore. Some new materials we've not seen yet. Or if this is going to fill up with bugs as soon as the planet's done regenerating. Strip this whole cave bare.
Looks good.
Alright, and then we have no idea what this thing is. Underground cave, a complex of underground chambers and tunnels. There might be something valuable. Duh. So we'll have to figure out what this is later. It's definitely something we can interact with, but I don't know if we have the right tool for it. Maybe we have to blow it up with something, but nothing that we have seems to damage it. Oh, we can't go directly up here. Well, poop. We might be able to go south around here. I think our free time is starting to dwindle.
Congratulations. The Moon Energy Corporation is grateful for your shipment. Another reward is waiting for you in the terminal.
I'm sure they
I'd
are.
like to point out how clean the energy is that's produced by Moon Energy devices.
That's good. We don't want to ruin this Eden-esque planet. Oh, we got something over here. I wonder, now that I'm looking at this, I wonder if this is an indicator that we can put a helium extractor here. Because that is the color of the helium canisters we've been finding. A new location has been marked on our map. Is it this unknown location that we're sprinting towards? Can't go up this way. Probably picking the worst possible direction to approach this from. I don't even see a way to approach this unless we like build a base here and build a bunch of ladders up. Probably could. But I don't think that's the intended way. Oh man. It's gonna be a big run around. But let's check it out. Fall damage? What's fall damage? Oh, we got some big pipies. We're gonna arrive just in time for the bugs to come back, as usual. Oh. Let's get all this out of here.
Good work. Selenian thanks you
There's
for the
another.
shipment. They're very impressed. The other crews they had previously worked with
I'm
weren't
getting better
even
and
half
better.
as good.
Yep. Just in time. Oh god, what is this? An infection cloud. We're complete. Oh, this whole place is completely infected. Oh, that's what it is. We have to come here while the plane is cooling down and pop all those bubbles. Otherwise, there's just a permanent infection cloud. Hey. Okay, yeah, I think we're gonna have to come back during the next Ruptura. Not much we're gonna be able to do here. We're gonna get overwhelmed because they're just gonna keep spawning.
Necesito agua.
What do we have here? Oh, more purr plants. They're still spitting at me from all the way over there.
Good stuff.
Alright. Let's run back, and I'll see you in a minute.
Who's next?
Okay, looks like our wolfram powder is still running. So we finished 2 contracts, one for Selenium Corporation, which gets us a greater minor lem. Claim that. And now we can move on to level 6, which is tubes. I think we have the recipe for tubes. We'll have to see what we have to do to manufacture that. But Moon Energy Corporation gives us, oh, we're just one short of the wind turbines actually. Lesser Infiltrator Lem increases fog of war area uncovered by the player by 15%. Okay. And they're gonna want rotors now. Okay, so we're gonna do a little manufacturing expansion. But first, I need to drop off some stuff. Consumables is actually full, so we're gonna need another one, but we're out of building materials, so we're also gonna need to make some. Okay, materials, wolfram. Let's make personal storage. We might as well just fill her up here. Consumables, confirm. We'll drop these off here. Hydrolite can go here. Energy boost. Heavy ammo we'll hold on to. So let's swap that out like that. Analyze all of these bioeffects. We're just running into the analysis station. Ooh, one more.
Interesting.
There we go. I don't think we have enough to skip any of these. Here, we've got 8,900 and everything is getting quite expensive. Future health is still running. So, rotors is next. And rotors, do we have to unlock that recipe first? Let's take a look. Fabricator, I'm guessing. Basic building material. We could actually unlock basic building materials already. In fact, why not? 1, 2... and 3. There we go. We'll set up a separate line for basic building materials. Here we go, rotors. We have the blueprint, insert. We need 400 titanium rods and 300 wolfram wire, which we should have laying around. Here's wolfram wire.
Gotcha.
1, 2, 3, 4, and then 300 titanium rods. Unless I got that backwards. 400 and 300. I did, I got it backwards. Whoops. Rotor insert. There we go. Rotors are unlocked. We also need something needed tubes, right? So we can take care of that as well. 600 titanium sheets. Well, lucky us. I have a boatload of these laying around. 3, 4. Let's deposit all of these. We need 300 more titanium rods, which are freshly consumed. But we can definitely grab some more titanium sheets. Put the rest of these sheets back. While we wait on rods, we can take a look at... We're gonna need another fabricator. Unfortunately, we don't really have the room for it. Well, maybe, because it's probably gonna be titanium-based. So we can slap this on the edge here. Manufacturing, fabricator, drone mode. Nope, we're fresh overpower. I definitely want to get those wind generators unlocked in this episode. So we'll just... Oop. We'll just copy this. Drop it here. And rail from here to here. And here to here. And we're a bit too far away to add more solar. We're running up against the rocks here. So, Z, C, solar, solar, just enough to get that running again. There we go. This will all get broken down into wind generators in just a bit. But for right now, we're going to manufacture rotors here. Required items, wolfram wire and titanium rods. Oh. Okay, so not here, because this is titanium bars. So let's break this down. And figure out where we can put this where it's gonna make sense. So here's titanium rods. Here's wolfram wire. So it'll actually go pretty well right in front of this. Something like this. But I'm gonna need to rethink, probably starting in between episodes here, how this is laid out, because as we get into combining things, this tightly packed manufacturing layout is not going to work well, because we're already starting to run into distribution issues as far as getting things where they need to go. But just for making rotors, we should be fine to set this to rotors. Take titanium. Let me get our rail here. I'll hold off on titanium rods because we actually need titanium rods for our purposes. But we can take wires into here. We need, I think, one more stack of rods here, so a little bit farther. We can break this down over. Yeah, they're no longer delivering, so that means these are all full up for the rest of this delivery. And we'll need another silo, or a storage depot, in front. Like this. With a rail connecting. And hold rotors. So, now we wait.
Great work. Future Health Solutions has received your shipment.
Good. We can look at that while we wait.
In the terminal.
Future Health. I don't even remember what you were offering us. Oh, some LEMS. Goody. Reduces natural calorie loss by 10% and hydration loss by 12%. That's interesting, but I almost want to just keep it the same because it gives us a reason to actually work all these recipes into our production lines. So their next thing is they want ceramics, which we have the capacity to make. I think we need to unlock the recipe from furnace? Yeah, ceramics. That's gonna take calcite sheets and wolfram powder. Yeah, so we're starting to have to weave things together, so I think in between episodes here, I'll grade all of this, so I'll disassemble all this. We'll make one gigantic flat platform. And then we can space everything out. So instead of being like directly tied right next to each other, we'll put like 2 or 3 squares between each thing. And maybe have a big row of silos that everything feeds. We have like an input and an output, and that goes off to a side set of silos. And then instead of having to go tier by tier, where we have tier 1 feeding directly into tier 2, feeding directly into tier 3, we can do tier 1 into silos, and then the silos into tier 2, and then tier 2 back into silos, and so on and so forth. That might make this a bit more extensible and reusable, and easier to kind of weave things in. That way, if we need 2 different things, like something from the wolfram side and something from the titanium side, we don't have to crisscross and route rails in between buildings and whatnot. We can just bring everything back in from the same side that it's going out to. But we'll see what we can do. But for right now... oh, we were waiting for titanium rods, right? Right. So once we get our 3rd stack of titanium rods...
Oh, nice.
We can put everything else... build rail into you somehow. Where's it coming from? Right here. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. How can we make this work? Come out of the front, maybe? There we go. Just barely made it work. Okay, so there's our rotors. We don't actually get to see it in here. It becomes just a briefcase. There they go. And then we just need to pick a side to deliver this on. I think we're closer to this side, so we're going to deliver it over here. Which means... no, they're actually... They seem to be going in the right way. I don't know what this is still connected for. But this should deliver into here, so we can just tell each one of these... Deliver rotors. Oop. There we go. Rotors. And rotors. There we go. Here they come. This looks like it's considerably slower to manufacture. 1 every 6 seconds. So we're not going to be able to saturate 4 launchers with that. But we don't really have the capacity with the way that our manufacturing is laid out right now to expand this into multiple fabricators. Maybe if we push this forward and then did 2 different rail splitters. But I think that's, we might run into issues with this silo here, but we'll see. For right now, I'm gonna go drop off these 3 stacks of rods, and then we'll come take a look at that. Alright, I forgot what we've been unlocking here. Tubes. Insert. Insert. There we go. Now we can make tubes. I need to find something to do with all this wolfram powder. I guess we're gonna stick it in here, because I don't think anything is calling for wolfram powder right now. And then LEMS into personal storage. Alright. Let's take a look at what we can do here. I think what we're gonna have to do to filter all these things together through like a common silo.
Agua.
A common silo area is to use the multi-rail. And we'll probably have some... Oh, we're out of building materials. Dang it. Hang on. Does it? I can't just build a platform in the middle of nowhere? Huh. Can I build a pillar support? Yes, okay. We'll do a platform on top of that. Now we can! It's right click, you hold right click and drag. Ha ha ha, okay. Let's just say, I've been thinking it's such a weird thing to not have in your building game. That's so much nicer. Okay, so what I'm thinking is, if we have a multi-rail system, something like this, we say we don't necessarily need 3, but at a minimum of 2 in between each row, that gives us 6 rails that we can plug in outputs from our silos. So we really just have to figure out, I keep calling them silos, they're depots. We just have to figure out how we're going to arrange our depots in order to make them maximally accessible from our input rails back into our manufacturing lines. If we offset them by 1 and do something like this, we can actually use multi-rails along the side here. I guess we go just forward from each one of the silos on each side. Something like this. And then we can do, let's do this in drone mode. Then we can do input, input, input. And each one of these can be coming from a different assembler or fabricator or what have you. Pass these on through. You to you. Oops, then you to you. And we can do the same for the output. So then we can bring these back into here. Pass this along. You'll come into here. Pass both of these along. And then you can come into here. So now we have inputs and outputs for each of these materials, and this just kind of puts sockets here that makes this available to grab onto and then spit out into some other line. Now we do want to have, we do probably want to have a kind of a mix-up layer. And by that I mean, if something further down the line needs something from a silo that's all the way back here, we don't necessarily have a way sort of just grabbing this and awkwardly kind of stringing this along to get this down to the input in order into the fabricator or what have you that's further down the line. So we probably need a second row of just kind of support lines here for the multi-rail. That way, you know, if we have something that's all the way down here, we can use our disambiguation. There's a specific word There's a specific word I'm trying to think of that's not coming to me at the moment, but this is kind of allows us, these are general connections that allow us to take any arbitrary output and then connect it down the line to some kind of input. So we can, this side of the equation will always stay the same. Come on, let me back in. So we'll always have the same materials in these silos, but then we can just hook up these wires as needed. So this is kind of like our breadboard row for us to connect inputs to outputs arbitrarily. So this is like the old phone operator station where you'd have people that would just sit with a big bank of 3.5mm ports and use an actual physical wire to connect an incoming call to an outbound destination. So what, that's kind of my idea here. Now this is going to run, where we're building this right now is going to run into our existing manufacturing, but if we get this up and running, we don't necessarily need all of this anyway. My only concern is that to break all of this down, I'm going to have to use up my inventory slots to take in all the material that's currently sitting in these silos and relocate them to these silos over here. But yeah, so we can have a maximum of 3 silos per row, just because our multi-lines only allow 3. Do we have, if I recall correctly, there's a 5 rail? Is that right? Let me double check. It's much, much further down. Level robotics. Yeah, there's a 5 rail, good grief. So that'll allow us to deepen our storage. But right now I don't think 3 is really that bad. We're just going to have multiple rows of 3. So one of the first things that I want to set up is I want to get building materials automated. But before we do that, I need to figure out how this kind of intermediary layer is going to work. Our breadboard is going to work. So let me take these down. Well, not necessarily. I mean, these can go here. I just don't know if we need them quite so closely spaced. If we should do like every line like this, or every other line, or every other. So match it up with kind of how these existing inputs and output lines are set. What? Why did that do that? That's just silly. Copy, please match it to the existing, there we go. So we'll do another one here. So we'll try every 2. And then if we need, I keep quitting all the way out of this. I haven't quite built that muscle memory yet because I keep changing games every other day. All right, hold it here. So we're gonna go 1, 2, and then fill in these gaps here. And so if we need to, like if this needs to go way down, we can actually we can loop this in and out. So we can do something like this, where we take an input into this side, and then we can actually go out and just kind of loop it around like this to bring it further down the line. So that's kind of cool. One other thing we may want to consider design-wise is that because we're spacing it out like this, we're double spacing it, we should also be able to do something like build multi-rail drone, something like this, where we can just go overhead of these on our off squares. I don't know if we make them face in the same direction or make them face like this. But this way, because all of these inputs and outputs are on the same line, we run into the issue where we might have tracks that are physically intersecting. So if we have like a second row that runs above, we avoid that issue, so we can actually jump vertically into another layer of distribution lines. Okay. Here. You're such a whiner. 30 and 40, 40 and 50. Use that. I don't know why, but that was like, whatever the opposite of ASMR was, it was that. Alright, where were we? Yeah, so multiple vertical levels. Now, we don't necessarily need it right now, but it's something that if we do run into an issue where, oops, we got cross wires, or we're running into a rail saturation issue, we can just plop down another set of supports that's one vertical layer up and then just go over our problem area. So that's fun. Let's destroy this. Copy, paste. So let's set up, we're gonna need quite a few silos here because we've got currently 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then potentially 11, 12, like 13 different materials that we're working with right now. So we're gonna need like 10 rows of it. Well, no, that'd be 30. We need 4 to 5 rows of silos like this. It's gonna be like this. And then a row of silos. Right? And then we can do input lines coming off of here to here, running through from here to here, and then from here to here, and then running all the way through to the last silo, like so. Copy this, and we'll do 1, 2, 3. See, this is a situation where satisfactory style blueprints would be spectacular, so we could just turn this into a blueprint and then just plop this whole assembly down to make this super easy. But since we don't have that, or I don't know of how to do that, or have not unlocked it yet, one of those 3, we're just gonna do this. There we go, there's 2. So, if we reproduce our basic productions here, and put them kind of here, just to see if this makes sense, the way this is set up. So let me quit out of this. Let's see what our first line of manufacturing is here. We are making titanium bars and wolfram bars. So makes sense. So our first line of silos is going to need smelters. Let me get out of the way here. And these are going to live... We're going to go 1 space out. Building is colliding with another building. Oh, detected. Come on.
I recommend finding a safe place.
I was just getting into the swing of it. Which means now we're going to have to run out back to here. That's going to push us out a little bit more. That's okay, though, because we've done quite a bit of waiting this episode, so I think we're at 2 hours now. This will let it down to probably like an hour and a half, so we've got some time. It's kind of fascinating that watching a star explode has become rather droll. I still think we're way, way too close to this star. While we're waiting... Oh, we're only halfway done with this delivery. I guess because there's only 1 fabricator running. But we'll get there this episode. No problem.
Planetary temperature within acceptable
Alright.
parameters.
How are we doing on ammo? 4... And then... 111. We should be alright. Okay, so we'll come back to this in just a bit. We're gonna run over to this new base we found, which is called CRO Grey Owl Claywoods Research Outpost. Let's go. Okay, we're back. Probably would have been smarter if I set up a closer base to shelter in for the Ruptura and then pop out and immediately be here, but we were kind of in the middle of something. So, we're gonna quickly try to pop all of these... Oh, not that. All of these blue growths. So I think we had gotten these. Yeah. We need to get up here somehow. There we go. We can kind of double jump off of things. All right, let's get these out of here. And looks like there might be one more up here. So let's get rid of this. I think you actually run faster if you're not holding a weapon. Oh wow, there's actually platforming in this. Put it away. Nice. All right, last bits. 1, 2. Is there one over here? I can't quite see. I think we might be done. All right, what do we got? Rubble pile. Basic building materials and unknown logic board. Storage box with stabilizer blueprint. Some war bonds, and a security logger, 1,500 research points. I hope these are all done. Dead body with more war bonds, a lesser resistor lem, reduces heat, corrosion, and drain buildup rate by 20%. Oh. I wonder if we can get our heat buildup resistance high enough that we can just run around in the superheated environment. Let's see. It's over, man. It's over. It's game over. From Ray Simmons to William Claywood. I refuse to keep searching. My brain can't take it. I don't care what you think. I'm not going to help you anymore. I'm not going to help them anymore. I can't take it. Fuck you. No amount of UC can make this worth it. Bring me back to Earth, you freak. Someone's clearly had it, and I don't think it worked out too well for him. Let's see. We're gonna hop back down here. Whoa. Not sure how far you have to fall to take fall damage. Is there anything on the back? No. Okay, just making sure there's nothing hiding.
That's just what I need.
Stop pressing escape. Nothing up here. There's some building materials down here we can grab. And some calorie stuff. Oh, let me through. Oh, we can slide, that's right. Grab this. Alright. We're running low on time here because the walkover took so long. Let's see if we can get in here. Item printer. Bullets. Dead body, war bonds, shotgun shells, and a glutton lem. All consumable stats by 35%. Yo. Do we waste time with the tablets? Personal diary of Jeffrey Waters. I've landed on Arcadia-7. The Church of Immortality considers this planet holy. Here its adherents are supposed to pass the trial and achieve true immortality, whatever that means. Maybe they're just greedy. Discs are not enough for them. I'm surveying the planet. It seems perfectly normal and strange at the same time. I'm looking for signs. I don't believe in the trial. I don't want to go into the fire. And yet something is telling me to look for answers. Do aliens really exist? Is life one big test? I hope that some things will become clearer during this mission. Well, you definitely didn't achieve immortality. Gimme, gimme. How do we get up to the second floor, though? There was stuff up here. Here? Here. Alright. Bullets. And calorie bar. And that's it. So I guess that up there, the research for the stabilizer, that was the main prize of this base. Hello? There it is. So I think we actually have enough time to get out of here before the bugs come back. Oh, let me up, please. There we go. Just want to make sure I don't miss any rubble piles. Get all the goodies that we can. Here we go.
see.
Yes, let's. One more over here. Oh, and there's something over there, it looks like. We get everything? A drone wreck and a oh, okay, so if we see a dead body in the map, it's actually available, because they disappear once you loot them. Good to know. Goodies. Unknown casing. A mangled piece of equipment, impossible to identify. Okay, so 1,100 research points. Building materials. Drone wreck. And a dead body this way. Somewhere. It's probably up on that pipe, I bet. Oh, nope. There it is. Bullets. Infiltrator increases fog of war by 25%. Alright, let's get out of here before the bugs spawn. It's getting a little too green. We ran it out of there so fast, I guess we didn't really need to take care of all the growths.
Arcadia status stable.
But it looks like I don't see the blue cloud anymore, so I think we did disperse it. So we know what to do in the future if we see that again. But for right now, we're gonna run back to base and we'll continue our little building experiment. Claim, 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 claim.
Interesting.
Okay. I just sorted our inventory, claimed all of our claimables, so we can focus our attention on this. So before we were interrupted, we were building a fabricator, I believe, or a smelter. We were getting our first tier materials set up. So we want to intake from this side. We want to do one space out. What building? Is it the platform? Oh, there we go. It's just on the wrong level. So I think we actually want to go forward one. Like that. And... oh, no, 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 no. I did it wrong. No. Kind of. Here. Better to put more space than... not enough space. So we'll go here. We'll go out one like that. Copy. Paste. And we're gonna want... do we do multiple fabricators? I guess we could technically do 3 fabricate or 3 smelters per row. And then we would just do, we would copy this design. So we would go here. And here. Unfortunately, it doesn't line up. It's a bit too long. So it's not going to make a nice, neat grid, but that's okay. And then we'll do here. And here. Match the input to the output. And grab a rail. And we want this to this. And then bring this through to the middle, and then out. So here we can do titanium bars and wolfram bars and potentially calcium blocks. And then from here we just need to get I guess this no, it'll work, just wait. So we need to get raw materials in here. So we'll take a rail, and we'll just come straight off of here for now. We'll grab 1 titanium. Let's do something like this. Y 1, 2. We're putting 2 in between each, right? Yeah. I keep canceling out of the drone. It's driving me nuts. And we'll copy this. Lock the Y. Let's put it here. And then we can grab one titanium and put it on the middle. One wolfram on the left. So we want wolfram and titanium in here, right? So we can grab... that's not right. Cancel. Ugh, it cancels all the way out of the drone. Annoying. We need these two. So middle is titanium. So we want titanium into... You don't technically have to go through here, but we can. Titanium into the leftmost, right? Because that's our first off-road? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We hooked it up. Let's actually do this. I'm gonna swap these just because of the way we're gonna have to cross this to do this, which it'll technically work, but I hate the way that looks. So cancel. Drone. Break these. I think we're actually going to start at the output and then go from there. So we'll break this. Rail. We'll do middle to middle. Outside to outside like that. And then we can do this to this. This to this. So now, if we follow this back, this was titanium, right? So we need titanium to go on the outside. So to here. So we'll grab this. Titanium on the outside. Although, yeah, now we have to do, we have to cross the wires somewhere. Unless we just swap this, we can do titanium here, wolfram here, that works. We'll swap that. So you to you. That comes around. And now we need to get the output of this back into, let's say, here. So we'll leave the base down for now while we play with this. So we're going to swap these two, right? So this is actually going to be making wolfram. And this is actually going to be making titanium. Grab a rail, drone it up. So the output of this is going to go... We'll do middle here. That gives us the option to put a third one here. And that's going to come all the way through to here. And then you're going to hop on the inside. Yeah, and then the third one will go on the outside rail. So now we're going to have wolfram and titanium. So wolfram... These aren't really assigned yet, so we can put these wherever, but we can now use these center lines to hop back into here. So we'll take this to here, and then this to here is fine. Then the same for this, so we can grab the middle to the middle, middle to the middle. And so now those will flow into here, and now we can take the output from here and send it to wherever we want. And if we need it to go to multiple places, or if we get crossed wires, like if this is filled up, we can just build a second one that's on another layer, vertical layer above this. So it's going to be a bit... It's going to be a bit more, or I should say it's going to require a bit more thinking about how the rails are distributed. But it allows the layout to be consistent and allows us to avoid this kind of mishmashy nonsense where we started okay with like a row of fabricators, But then things got a lot more complicated. Now we've got multiple levels of furnaces that are on the same level as fabricators, and silos just kind of placed willy-nilly wherever they can be squeezed in. So I guess what we'll do is get the base back online first. So let me cancel out of this. And you're gonna need just a buttload of solar panels to get this running again. So build power. Get these as level as possible. God, look at all these solar panels, are ridiculous. But this just inside a rock? Sure, why not? Alright, that gives us a little bit of overhead. We still got over 1,000 bits left. Alright, so let's keep looking at this. So this is flowing into here. We can take the output. This should automatically detect what we have coming into it. So this will store titanium bars. This will store wolfram bars. Now the output is flowing back into here. So let's keep pushing this. So we've got, this is our tier 1. This is our bar production. We could theoretically break this down. How are we looking? I think this might have stalled because we cut off the incoming line of materials. Yeah, there's no more rotors coming in. So let me reconnect these to some raw materials. Titanium is connected. Wolfram is not connected. So let me grab a random... Oh, oops. I did two titanium lines. Oopsie. Break that. Copy that. Wolfram, you need to go here. There we go. And then this Wolfram line needs to go all the way over here. Yeah, we can avoid silly wire crossing like this. At least with this system, everything will be somewhat aligned to a grid, except for the center where we can kind of plug our inputs to our outputs. So... from here, we're making a whole bunch of stuff. So we're doing titanium rods, titanium sheets, and titanium beams. And these are all done in fabricators. Unfortunately, our two manufacturing lines are now actually going to intersect. But since we're kind of in real time replacing this, and we're not using beams at the moment, I can actually just break this down. Nor are we using titanium sheets. And this makes titanium housings. Right. Okay. So let's break this down to give us some room. This as well. Alright, so we can fit up to 3 fabricators per row. Same with smelters. So we need to kind of move all of this, or carry all of this forward. So let's plop down some multi-rails. Lock our Z position. 1, 2, place. And then build platforms like so. I don't know if that'll overwrite those supports I have there, so we'll just do it one group at a time. And we need to copy these. Z. Here, and well, I don't know what the footprint of the fabricators looks like. Let's see. Manufacturer, fabricator. Input from this side. Like so. 1, 2. Cool, we have just enough space to squeeze all these in here. And then we're gonna copy this. And so we're gonna have, this is our input side, so it's gonna come out like this. We're gonna do one here. Then we're gonna do one here. Copy. Now I do need to take into consideration that some of these are gonna need multiple inputs, which is fine. We can just take, you know, we can take 1 and then 2 like that, and it'll just be a matter of using our shuffle layer, I guess, to feed the right inputs into these 2 sockets here. But let's break this. Copy. We need to bring all of this through here to here, here to here, and here to here. And then outputs are going to be here, here, and here. And then all this in reverse. So here to... That's not right. Start here. Here to here. Here to here. And here to here. And then bring it all forward. There we go. So now we need to pick what's being made here and probably fill in these gaps. That works. Same here. Let's see, can we do... Just so we don't fall in here and get stuck. Alright, quit out of here. So, what did we say? We were doing, I think titanium rods. Titanium sheets. And titanium beams all take a single titanium bar as their input. So we need to now split this bar output that's coming into this middle line. This is going to be better done from up above. So let's think this out. So our titanium bars are here, right? On the middle line. So I think actually what we're going to need here is a rail splitter. Because I can't do like a one to many using this. Well, actually I can. Actually, I can. We do have a solution for this. If I delete this, the solution is the rail modulator. That way I can do 1 to 3. So, I do need to now rewire these. There we go. So, what do we say? That was our middle rail. So we want this to come in to say... We're going from the middle, so I guess, to the middle. And then straight out here. Alright, we're flowing. So theoretically, this should hit the modulator and be split 3 ways to feed all of these fabricators. Yes! Incredible. And then these are going to come back this way. And I don't know... Technically, we can take all 3 of these, feed them through this stack, and then feed them back into here. But I think it might just be a better idea to move this whole assembly forward. Because nothing else is going to be stuffed into these anyway, because our manufacturing is thicker than our storage. So all of our storage is actually going to need to be spaced out to match our lines of manufacturing. So I actually screwed up by putting all of these side by side. So let's break these down. Again, this would be a fantastic use for blueprints. And here. Okay, so there's that. So we want our output line here. We could technically go straight into this without touching our line here, but I think what I'll do, just so that we can reuse this to bring stuff from back here forward, is we'll put another multi-rail up a level and then just go straight over the top. We'll go up. That way if we need to go, well, we want to go a little bit further, because if I have to go here, the rails kind of touch quite a bit. So let me try this one more time. And we'll do that again, but 1, 2 spaces higher. And then go straight through. Yeah, I think this is working out just fine. Oh. That auto snapped way out of place. No, no. Here. Thank you. It's a little finicky. Okay, so now, because these are directly connected, all I have to do is just touch these, and then it'll tell us what's going to come in here. Titanium beams, titanium sheets, and titanium rods. And in fact, we can, where's sheets? Titanium sheets. 1, 2, 3, and we'll leave 1 space for these to come into the stuff that's already manufactured. 2, 3, just so it has an outlet. And then we somehow wound up with no rods. Okay, I'm liking how this is working so far. We're just going to keep working this forward while we wait for this contract to finish, because I do want to play with the wind turbines this episode. We're almost there. 14 of 17k. I think we've got time for another row of manufacturing here. So this is titanium. We're going to want another row for wolfram things, right? So drone, we're going to break down these delivery launchers. To make space for our purposes. I think we actually have to get rid of this as well. So let's do another row of these. So these are going to get space forward 1 more. 1, 2, 3. We're waiting for us to hit our power limit. And multi-rails. Get it up. There we go. Here. Here. And here. And the same on this side. We go back. 1, 2, 3. Fill in our gaps. Do a little tidying up here. We're about to die again. This lady drinks so much.
Oh, I needed that.
I know, you keep telling me about it. Oh, that's just calorie only. We're way overfed. Alright, what were we doing? Rails. Here. Input. Output. Interconnect. And now our first challenge is getting our Wolfram bars, which are on this left rail. Copy this. We need to use this here. Let's use this one to get... Actually, this needs to be a modulator, right? Oops. I was not thinking ahead. Because all these are going to take bars. So, rail modulator. Facing this way. Like so. This to here. And then we're going to need 1, 2, 3. Perfect. And this doesn't really intersect. Not that it would matter, but I want this to be as pretty as possible. We've got a little bridge here. So let's cancel out of this, and we're gonna do... I guess it doesn't really matter what order we do it in. Wolfram wire. Wolfram plates. I guess we don't have a third, we don't have Wolfram beams necessarily. So this, I guess this fabricator will just turn off for now. And then we're going to need another row of silos to store all this in. So let's go back into construction here. And our output's on this line, so we're going to copy this silo. It's going to go here. Outside... middle, and... Oh, what did I do? Oops. You to you. Alright. Now, we just need to tell these what they're receiving. Oh, I didn't actually connect them up. Oops. So, I think we'll do... We can do that again, because we're just passing straight over, right? So we'll copy this. We're gonna go a little... Now, we can move this forward one, I guess. It doesn't have to be... doesn't have to be evenly spaced. That way we can destroy this. Copy this. So we'll go to here, and then 1, 2. I mean, it's not stable. No! No, it's because the elevation's dropping. Can we double up? Can I put like a pillar support to here? And then go on top of that? Please say yes.
Moon Energy thanks you for another shipment. According to their observations, your production has not damaged the environment.
That's good to know.
The amount of greenhouse gases in Arcadia-7's atmosphere has not changed.
So far. 1, 2, oh no. We're just, you're only allowed to build a fixed level off the ground. I think. It seems like you should be able to just, like, dock one pillar into another pillar. Phrasing. But I don't see... It doesn't seem to work like that. Supported platform. Provides stability, Well, let's see. If I break this down... We can go that high. So that's 1. That's level, right? Level. 1, 2. Damn. Tragic. Alright. Well, let's settle for 1. Rail. Go up. Straight over. Hopefully that's something that gets added down the line. I don't see why you couldn't just stack supports. So now, we can tell these what they're receiving. Still no? Oh, we didn't actually tell these to make anything. I thought we did. We did. Wolfram wire. Output. What? Wolfram wire. Oh yeah, there was no third, that's right. There we go. Okay, so, just so that this episode doesn't continue on, and because we've already done this, you know, this pattern several times now, let's go take a look at our reward from Moon Energy Corporation. It's a wind turbine, plus 200 megawatts, compared to the 10 meg. Oh wow, this is crazy better. 10 megawatts to 200 megawatts. Okay, so we can break down. Whoop, don't break that. We can break down a lot of this, but let's see what the footprint of this is. Yeah. So this is a 4 by 4, and these are 2 by 2. So in the space that this would make, solar panel ones would make 40 megawatts, we're making 200.
I'm detecting increased rupture activity.
Well, it's gonna have to wait,
for a wave.
because we're in the middle of science and things. 3, 4. Replace that with a single wind turbine. Oh yeah, we can't drone it. Because, the Ruptura. Yeah, look at that. I'm not sure how that works. That would not catch very much wind. But, we're producing a hell of a lot more power now. So let's repeat that here. 1, 2... Well, actually, let's repeat that here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's copy this. Boom. And then we do have 4 more here. So if we break some of these down. 1, 2, 3, 4. So let's just get this whole row. Build. Copy this. Drop this here. Yeah, like these alone, there's already more than all of our solar panels combined. What's this look like? Yeah, we're making 770 now. We're only using 310. Incredible. Also, I have so much titanium stuff in my backpack right now. I don't even know what I'm going to do with it all. But I think that's where we're going to end this episode. So let's watch the sun explode one last time together. 3, 2,
Rupture's eruption
1.
has started. Prepare for impact.
Hope you have your goggles on. So many more tiny little carts running this time.
Extreme temperature detected. Planetary temperature returning to normal.
There we go. So now I can hop up here and we can take a little peek over our base, see how it's evolved since our last outro. It's a little bit hard to see here in the ash. But yeah, it's coming along. We made some progress in this episode. We got our calcium factory online. We got several new contracts delivered. We unlocked some new power generation with our wind farms. We explored a new base. We got the map unlocked. We have some new blueprints to check out next episode. And we've begun the process of reorganizing our manufacturing into something that's a little bit more extensible and blueprintable. It allows us a lot more flexibility in connecting inputs to outputs. Hopefully, that's the plan. But yeah, that's what we're going to leave off for this episode. So, thank you for watching if you're still with us. If you're enjoying this playthrough of StarRupture, hit like and subscribe. If you want to check out StarRupture for yourself, head on over to Steam and pick it up. And if you want to let me know what you think of the game so far, then hit the comments down below. But whatever you do, I'll see you right here again in the next one. So, until then, bye-bye.